It's green for go. They're racing. He says go. He says ta-da. And Tiger Tara roars away from them on the home turn. Here comes another big boil over. Equine athleticism at its best. The king is in the castle once more. This is in one race. The rest are almost in another post. She is a star with a capital S. It's going to be a triple treat, a miracle three-peat. Ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed history here at Menangle. What about that? It's getting right up on the sprint lane and it's going to bolt in.
Hello and welcome back to the Menangle Angle this Thursday. I'm Jessica Watkins and I'm joined by our General Manager for Racing Operations here at Club Menangle, David Wonson. Wano, it's been a very busy week. We've already raced twice here. Monday were the Blue Heats. Tuesday was a normal meeting and we've got a good card coming up on Saturday night. How have you enjoyed the week so far?
Yeah, it's been busy. It's going to continue that way for about the next 10 days. This is what we look forward to, Jess. So, yeah, really good racing last week. We've got some nice racing this Saturday, but yeah, doesn't it really stack up next Saturday? Like the races are just getting better. We're talking about the Eureka, but races like the Len Smith Mile, it's starting to be a cracker. Like Swayze's come into the equation there. Let's see if he does nominate him. Like he was awesome in the trials here. Even Catch a Wave the win he had last week.
At
like
Melton.
He's back to his best, defending champion, and some horses that are racing like the new breed, if you want to call them, the Kingmans and that coming along. Even Oliver Dan's 148.5 was pretty impressive last week. Like if he nominates, it'd be just all these pluses for the race and for the race night itself.
You've just mentioned Oliver Dan's 148.5 mile here last Saturday night. That was an electric way to open the card. It was a very exciting win there. And then we also saw the other Emma Stewart train runner later on in the night, Mickey to Success, who took out the Discovery Stakes. And after that run there, you would have to think surely he has to get a slot in the world's richest harness race.
Yeah, they've played their cards pretty close to their chest, the Stewart stable. They haven't really, people have been circling, but they haven't committed to anything. So it's interesting there, but I don't think there's been a better run in the leading to the Eureka than Mickey to Successes in the Discovery. It was just awesome. They went 52, 2,300, sat parked and just run away from them. Yeah, look, it's not my money, it's the slot holders' money, so they make the decisions ultimately. It's not the trainers, it's the slot holders. So, yeah, it'd be very surprising, but if he's not, he'll be an emergency, as what the conditions were with the Discovery Stakes, like the top four finishing positions, other than horses that actually make the Eureka, will be the reserves for the Eureka. As long as they nominate for the Stockade, they have to actually nominate for the Stockade. So, yeah, he was just awesome. There were some really good performances the other night.
Another really impressive winner on the card, and you mentioned him just before as a Len Smith Mile candidate, and that was Kingman for Luke McCarthy. He actually completed a wonderful 2 days for owner Mick Harvey, because down there at Wagga on Friday, he had a winner with Sam Kerr. Later that night at Newcastle, then Luke John went on to score, and then just over 24 hours later, Kingman was victorious here at Club Menangle. So a really nice winning trifecta for Mick Harvey there.
Yeah, like he wouldn't have known where to look. Like all these winners that were coming. I think Sam Kerr was like $50 or something. Incredible, because she's raced in Metro grade quite a lot. It was huge odds, and like just those three winners. But you got Hesitate in the Eureka as well. Like he's put a lot of money in. He's got a lot of horses. So yeah, well done, and hopefully success continues his way.
Well, a big show coming up this Thursday. We're going to be chatting to Troy Williams, who has 3 horses engaged at Club Menangle this Saturday night. We're then also going to be speaking to Bailey McDonough, who has a really strong book of drives as well. We'll take a look at the $30,000 trot feature this Saturday night on our card, and then we'll run through our best bets segment. So, Wano, let's get stuck straight into today's show. Gamble responsibly. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Well, David Wonson has just had to step out for a moment, so it's going to be me catching up with our first guest on today's episode of the Menangle Angle. Troy Williams, how are you today?
Yeah, good, thanks, Jess. Thanks very much for having me on.
Thank you. It's great to have you on. And a busy day coming up for your team because you're heading out to Penrith with 7 runners.
Yeah, big day today at Penrith, day meeting today, which is a little bit unusual, but at least I'll be home and tucked in bed pretty early, Jess. But no, big day. 7 runners, a couple of double-ups. But, the team are all racing reasonably consistent, and hopefully we can get a bit of luck today.
Yeah, that's right. You won't know yourself tonight having a Thursday night off after having a Penrith day meeting, a very rare occasion out there on the Thursday. But we'll head into Saturday night because you're bringing 3 horses to race here at Club Menangle on Saturday. And the first 2 of those runners actually both line up in race 2, and that's Colonia Courage and Rockley Image. Colonia Courage has come up with barrier 1 here. Robert Morris is set to take the reins, and last Saturday night he was in Oliver Dan's race where they went 1:48.5. How did he come through that run?
Yeah, look, he's come through pretty well, Jess. I mean, I thought it was a great run, probably the quickest he's gone in his career, and he's racing in great form at the moment, off the back of 2 wins, and we probably just got exposed a little bit in the chair for probably about 400 metres there, and that probably took a little bit of the sting out of him. But no, he was good. He's pulled up quite well, ate up and licked clean, and his work's been pretty good during the week.
And barrier 1, you would have to think, is a big advantage for him because we know he's a horse that loves to lead.
Yeah, he loves to sort of come out of the gate and take cover on the right horse, Jess. The 1's perfect. It is up in grade a little bit for him, no doubt. The 2,300 metre trip, which he has won over, but probably in lower grades. But it's a perfect draw. The fence is the shortest way home, and no better driver to have on than Rob Morris up the fence. So hopefully we're not too far back. I'm expecting to be the sort of behind leader or 3 fence, and if he gets a little crack at him at the top of the straight, well, he'll give a show.
And in number 8 there, you have Rockley Image. Josh Gallagher's taking the reins aboard him, and he's a horse with a great turn of foot. I'm sure you'll be hoping that there'll be plenty of pace up front so that he's able to get a nice track into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, on the speed map, I think there will be a little bit of speed, especially early. Obviously, traditionally, those 2,300 metre races sort of turn into mile races anyway with the single file, and I'm happy with him drawing out wide because we can just go back and hopefully get a nice track into the race. And if they run along a genuine tempo, his work during the week was really, really good, probably the best I've had him, and after a week's freshen up last week. Hopefully he'll be rattling down the outside.
In race 6 then, it's the Trotters standing start here. $30,000 in prize money, and you have Affaire de Cover drawn barrier 5 here. Again, Robbie's set to take the drive here, and he's on the quick backup from Tuesday. How did he pull up?
Yeah, pulled up great. If anyone knows the horse, he races pretty consistently, and he does back up quite a lot, and he sort of thrives off backing up. Look, it's not a weak field by any means, and the standing start, it might catch a few out. He's not electric off the tapes, but he'll find a good position, and if he can get a card into it, look, he's a top 5 chance in it. I don't think he can win it, but I think he's a top 5 chance in it for sure, Jess.
And Troy, your stable at the moment, how many horses do you have in the team?
There's 20 here at the moment, so mixture of sort of older horses, a couple of Saturday nights, some babies, some trotters. So it's quite a good blend at the moment. It's reasonably busy, but we're handling it quite well. And the good part about it, touch wood, that most of the team are consistent, and they're running pretty good races every week. And when they get their sort of luck and their turn, the right barrier draw, and everything goes their way, they pop up.
And other than the team that you're taking to Penrith this afternoon, because this podcast will go live once the meeting has already completed there at Penrith or close to completion, do you have any other runners that we should be keeping an eye out for in the coming weeks?
Look, I think Bliss's Best is on the comeback. She's been racing in super form, and I just gave her a week freshen up just to sort of let down a little bit and come back to the Breeders' Challenge Series. But prior to that, she won 2 on the quick bounce at Penrith, and then her last start at Menangle, she was unlucky not to win it, got beat ahead, and went really, really good. So I think she's a horse definitely to watch in the future, for sure. Some of the others, they just sort of pop up when they get fitted into the right grade, Jess. It's not an all-stars team here at Grinnell Lodge, but it's a great consistent team for owners, and they can pay their bills, and that's the main objective.
It certainly is, and we'll definitely be keeping an eye out for Bliss's Best next time she lines up. And David Wonson has just joined me back here in the podcast studio, and I think he might have run a 28 quarter to get back into the studio, Troy. But
Sorry,
I know
Jess. I just
he's
went on
got the
my 20K
burning
run.
questions for you.
That was a tough headwind. I just went on a 20K run. I've just got back. Like, I blew my toupee off. Hey,
You
Troy.
can strip 20 kilos and still not run a 28 quarter, Jess.
I might have been a bit complimentary there. 38 will like it.
Not that I know any of the questions she's asked, Troy, but what about that trotting race this Saturday? It was scheduled for 20, but it's now 30,000.
Yeah, look, it's great. And, Club Menangle were fantastic in rolling that over once the mares raced. The Rangy Bill didn't stand up, and, allowing the trotters to race for that extra prize money is fantastic. And, it's good to see we've got a reasonable field there, 11 horses. And I was just saying to Jess before, it is reasonably strong. And it's not the last or second last, so I'm pretty happy about that, Wano.
Yeah, that's a good thing too. Look, Jess, we do try and support the trotters as much as we can here. Like we wrote the pro, we try and hear of what the connections, we try and hear what the owners want with them. And the trotters have been the backbone of Menangle here, definitely on the midweeks and of Saturday nights. Occasionally those races fall over, but we always try and give back when we can, especially with the trotters. And just a nice acknowledgement, that those horses that were nominated for a 20, they're now racing for 30. So there's a few extra bucks, which a fair to cover is not adverse to earning, is he, Troy?
No, he loves earning $1, definitely, Wano, for sure. And, have a horse will travel and race. And he's one of those horses he'll just pop up in Tuesdays and Saturdays. And, he's done a great job. I think he's won $260,000 or something odd dollars now for a horse that's sort of, he's a pretty lean horse. He's not a big, chunky looking horse, not a strong horse by any means, but he just trots all day and he gives his all, and that's all you can ask for. And he's just been so ultra consistent. He popped up in last year's carousel, and obviously he'll head back to see if we can get another crack at that. But he'll keep racing, and he just keeps ticking over. And anytime we sort of give him too much of a spell, he sort of takes a long time to get back. So we just keep ticking him over, and he keeps earning checks, and that's what it's all about.
Troy, it's been great to have you on the Menangle Angle today. Thank you so much for joining us on what is a very busy morning for you, and good luck with the team today at Penrith and on Saturday night here at Menangle.
Thanks very much, Jess. Thanks for having me on, and you might have to get the oxygen out for Wano now.
I'm already on it, mate. I'm already on it. Don't worry.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Gamble responsibly. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Well, our second special guest on today's episode of the Menangle Angle is Bailey McDonough. How are you today?
Yeah, very good, guys. How are you?
Good, thank you. It's great to have you on the show. I'm also joined by David Wonson.
Hey, mate. How are you? Soon to be dad? All excited?
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Yeah, very so far.
Oh, mate, it's going to be the best time of your life having kids. They bring you the best moments you'll ever experience. And they'll also bring you some of the hardest moments you've ever experienced. But, yeah, it's just moments and memories you just won't believe having a baby boy or girl.
Yeah, no, I look forward to it.
Well, this Saturday night, you have a really strong book of drives coming up here from Club Menangle. And your first drive comes up in race 2, number 3, Sheffield Sparky for Brad Abbott. He was a winner here in the final race last Saturday night. He's stepping up into the 95 grade this week. How are you expecting him to take that step?
Yeah, he's handled the 95 grade before quite well, but it obviously is a step up from last week. He gets the courtesy of a decent low draw, and he can follow those couple of good ones drawn inside of him. So, he sort of follows good pace all day. So I expect him to be there about the finish, whether they run the race on its head and he sort of gets a crack at him late. I think he's probably still best for a place. But, he's going really good. So he's in the zone.
Mate, we go to race 5, and you're forming some great relationships with these trainers and, more importantly, some of these horses. One of those horses is Arden's Ace. Since he's joined, and he was really good before he joined Thorny. Thorny's just taking probably to that next level, and you're a part of that. Arden's Ace is arguably racing in, of course, the best form of his career, but he's racing really impressively in high grades, very consistent. He's been a great money earner for the connections and Thorny and for yourself. Once again, he's in a hard race this week, but mate, you must be so happy with the way that horse is going.
Yeah, he's been a bit of a revelation this preparation. But no, he's going really good, and obviously Thorny's got him flying, and it's a hard thing to do. You don't see it too often, albeit at the same time Max Delight's doing it. But these horses show up week in, week out, and run those sub 50 miles. He's just, and to sort of do it on both ends, he's been really good. He's always sort of lacked that bit of strength late when we've used him out of the gate. But like I said, this preparation, he's developed another gear, and he's going super. And can't thank Thorny and the previous trainers like Tony and that for giving me the chance on this horse and allowing me to stay on him every week.
Yeah, well, Alison does wear a heart on her sleeve, so I think she cuddles everyone in the stables when the horse even just goes good, which you've been a beneficiary of. I've been the beneficiary of. Thorny's been the beneficiary of. She gets really excited. But you're right. This horse now has 2 efforts in a race, whereas before he wouldn't. But that 2 efforts, that's probably why he's racing so consistently in these grades. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, you wouldn't 12 months ago, you wouldn't see him run out the gate, in sub 27 or 27 quarters even. And still see him finish off so strongly. And even last week, he was great to sort of be reeling him late. But your Tiger Pie was good to come off his back and make good ground. But Ardens is obviously part of that strong lead time and still ran a very nice last half. So you probably can't be going much better than he can at the moment.
Toro Stride then lines up in this Saturday night's feature event, and it's a standing start for over the 2,300 metres. You drove him last start. He finished 5th on that occasion. How do you expect him to go here off the 20 metres?
Yeah, I think he'll go really good. I mean, he's obviously the best horse in the race, so he's just got to get away safely. And if he does and gets a good track into it, he's definitely in with a really strong chance. He was good first up. He just sort of blew out of steam that last bit, but I probably had to produce him just a touch earlier than I would have liked. But, I'm sure he would have come on from that, and Anton will have him cherry ripe. So, looking forward to this race with Toro on Saturday.
Mate, we go to race 8, and that's not to say you mightn't pick up another drive or two between now and Saturday, but just looking at him now, you've got American Hammer for David Aiken. David Aiken's a big supporter of yours as well. This horse, definite chance. These second divisions, Jess, of the 95 and 80s, providing opportunities for these horses that mightn't be racing with a lot of luck or they're just down on form a little bit. But Bailey, would you agree? They get back into these second divisions, they come into them very well, and once they get that confidence back up and they get a victory or a second, they go back in that top division, they seem to race better. And this is definitely one of those horses.
Yeah, for sure. He's a real confidence horse, Hammer, and when he is on song, you can follow him all day. But if he does land those top grades for a few runs and sort of just breaks in that little bit, he'll follow him, but he just doesn't seem to run the same horse, the next run. So, him getting into these sort of races, he can sort of play a little part early and still finish off really good. But they're his thing, these races. And like you said, I mean, if without him, he might not be able to jag one of those metropolitan races.
Mate, you've come into New South Wales at a time where I don't think we've ever had better young drivers coming through the system in such a big group. You're talking about Cameron Hart, we're talking about Will Rickson, we've got Josh Gallagher, we've got yourself. There's some fantastic. I know off the track, you're all good friends. You like each other's company. But that doesn't apply to on the track. It's like any sport, and just like soccer, rugby league. You actually try harder against your mates than you probably do opposition. And sometimes it's like that out there. I know you're all good mates off the track, mate. But on the track, it's definitely every man for himself, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you sort of play for bragging rights most of the time. But yeah, it is phenomenal the amount of young talent in New South Wales, and sort of grew up and did a lot of driving in WA and Victoria, and they just didn't seem to have that young play base of horses, young drivers driving at the sort of top echelon of the sport. So it does pave a good way for all young drivers coming through, and sort of something to strive for, which is really fantastic.
And Jess, I haven't even mentioned a couple like Ash Delosa, Jai Coney, like Jet Turnbull. It's just amazing the depth we've got in New South Wales at the moment. So hopefully, these horse numbers continue. We've had great numbers in all the races, Jess, at the moment, and hopefully that continues, because I can tell you what, there's plenty of good drivers to choose from.
And Bailey, just before we let you go, I see you're heading up to Newcastle tomorrow night for just one drive, and that's aboard a 2-year-old filly for Anton Galeno called Adelaide BC. You drove her at her first start. She finished third. She found the line very nicely. Can she break her maiden up there tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think she can. Anton had a nice opinion of her leading into those trials. She sort of just she was a bit green. She sort of didn't understand when you had to let down. So we were wary of going into that first start at Newcastle and what she would produce. But she actually flipped the switch and produced a really good effort. So she seems to have come on in each of her trials and showing up to her first race start. So expecting her to go better again. And if she produces a similar sort of run, then she should be very much in the finish.
It's been great to have you on the Menangle Angle today. Thank you so much for joining us, Bailey, and best of luck at Penrith, Newcastle and Menangle over the coming days.
Thanks very much, guys.
Thanks, Bailey.
Gamble responsibly. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. 8 races this Saturday night, getting underway from 5:49 p.m. and race 6 is the feature event on the card. It is the Highland Harness Colours Trotters Discretionary Handicap. $30,000 in prize money to be run over the 2,300 metres. And I know it's a standing start event. They're from off the front take, the 10 metres and the 20, but it's a very wide open affair, I think, here. And Anton Galeno has strong representation with Rakiro Blaze, Sheetweb Weaver and Toro Stride, but you could really make a case for a number of the runners, couldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. And there's a horse number 8, Sunny G. It's funny, Anton's got 9, 10 and 11. Sunny G there, he pops his head up at good odds every now and then for a victory. Even horses, lots of ability. Jungle Eyes, as we've always known, has got plenty of ability, fair to cover. Once again, another horse that just seems to show up, but at the right time. He's a Hammers racing well. Malibu's got plenty of ability. So, yeah, nice race. These horses deserve the $30,000 to go around this week in the standing start. It should be a pretty open betting affair.
Gamble responsibly. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Who's your best on the card, Wonno?
I keep smiling. Do you like how I played that? I was going to go, but I went, I keep smiling. Look, she's headed towards the Len Smith Mile. She's the best mare in Australasia. I think she can sit parked in this race and still win. There's a couple, they're all going well, but she's something else at the moment. I don't think she's fully wound up for the Len Smith. She needs this run. Luca's been open about that she does need this run, but racing hard definitely doesn't affect her. So I keep smiling's my best bet.
My best bet comes up in race 4, number 8, Horn Player. And although he's the widest runner in the field, he's been ultra consistent of late. Prior to his last start, he'd finished second 3 starts in a row. And I think he really gets his opportunity to break back into the winner's circle here. So Horn Player for me. Who's your next best?
Oh, look, I was tossing up a horse in race 1, but I'll stay away from that number 5 because I think someone else might be doing that one. So my next best is a horse called Toro Stride. He won a standing start 3 starts ago, so he's gone back the extra 10, but it's similar field, and I don't think the extra 10 metres will affect him too much the way the handicaps have fallen. Because sometimes you don't mind being just in clear air by yourself. You can get a real good getaway. This horse can do that. I think Bailey McDonough's a driver in form that it will suit. And just on raw ability alone, Toro Stride's the best horse in this race. Yeah, just a little bit of traffic early if you can navigate that. And I still think he's going to be $3 or $4. I think he'd be great odds as well.
My next best, you've just given it away. It's race 1, number 5, Sao Paulo.
I didn't say his name, though.
You just said what number he was and what race he was in.
Yeah, but because I couldn't pronounce it, so that's why I let you go with it.
Speaking to Mick Stanley last Saturday night, he earmarked this horse as one to watch this Saturday night. I think he gets a real good chance to find the winner's circle again here at Club Menangle. Wonno, a bit of value. Who have you come up with?
You know what? Sometimes I have value, and then like 2 weeks later they win. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going with this horse while he's in these grades as Major Perry. He's going to win one of these races. He's raced without luck his last 2 starts. He's been hammered away back on the pegs through just the way the race has panned out, where he's probably got back a lot further than he wanted to. This horse is hitting the line strong. He's going to win one of these races, Jess. Major Perry, each way value. Race for number 3, the King, Luke McCarthy.
Well, I am also sticking with my value bet from last week. That's race 2, number 5, Double Act. He didn't disappoint at all running third last week. He's run 5 placings at his last 5 starts. So I'm hoping he can get the win for Harry and Ash here on Saturday night. Gamble responsibly. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Wono, can you believe we're only 9 days away from the Tab Eureka?
I know. It goes around. This is the 3rd one. I was only mentioning something the other day. I can still remember all that lead up to the first one. Now we're into the 3rd one. Yeah, God, time goes quick. But this race is going to be fantastic. We know there's a lot of good form coming. The race is what's really good. I think it's really good, actually, that we don't know the final makeup of the field. So that's interesting in itself, which will play out over this weekend. But that field will be declared Monday. We'll go into the barrier draw Tuesday, which will be conducted over there at Sky Channel live on TV, which is really exciting. So, and then, it's all systems towards Saturday, which is just going to be an amazing program. Those Breeze Blue heats, Jess, they were really good the other day.
They were fantastic.
Really good performances. You know, the 2-year-old fillies race is going to be an extremely exciting race. There was some really good heat winners. They're going really fast. I just think it's a really open race. Barrier draw will be important for that, which will all be available on Tuesday.
It's a fantastic showcase of our true blue talent, isn't it, the Blue Series? And what I loved about the race day is that there was people coming from every single region right across New South Wales, and it was a great chance to catch up with people that you don't get to see too often unless you're travelling out to those regional tracks. So it certainly was a great heat day here on Monday, and we look forward to those finals, like Wono said, on Eureka night. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We'll be back again next Thursday with a bumper Eureka edition. We'll be catching up with some participants that are involved in the world's richest harness race and potentially also the Len Smith Mile as well. See you next Thursday from wherever you listen to your podcasts.